Movie starts with Evan Weber, an architect and contentedly married individual, finds himself alone in the house with his dog, Monkey, over Father's Day weekend. This situation arises because of his work commitments and a physical therapy session for a shoulder injury. Meanwhile, his wife, Karen, who is a thriving artist, entrusts their assistant Louis with the task of relocating her sculpture to an art gallery for her upcoming exhibition while she takes their children on a pre-planned beach trip. During heavy rain, Genesis and Belle, both drenched, come to Evan's door seeking directions to a party. Their phone isn't working, so Evan invites them in to dry off and find the party's address online. They discover it's in another area, and Evan offers to call an Uber, which will take 45 minutes to arrive. He hands them robes to dry their wet clothes in his dryer. The girls feel comfortable and flirt with Evan, mentioning how pretty Karen is and assuming she and Evan are always intimate. Belle discusses polygamy and her desire for threesomes with future partners to prevent cheating. Both are flight attendants and have open attitudes towards sex. Evan orders an Uber for them and plays some old vinyl records from his DJ days. When their ride arrives, they head to the bathroom. Later, Evan returns with their clothing and finds them naked. He tries to persuade them to leave, but they begin to make advances, and eventually he gives in and joins them in a threesome. The morning after, Evan discovers that the girls have damaged his wife's sculpture. He warns them about calling the police, but they argue they're too young. Karen's friend, Vivian, who is also a massage therapist and was there for an appointment, visits. When she sees Genesis, she leaves upset. Evan then threatens to report a burglary, and the girls finally agree to be driven home. After that, he goes back home, tidies up the mess caused by the girls, and attempts to resume his work. Just when he's almost finished with his project, he hears a loud crash. As he bends down to pick up a broken photo frame of his family, Genesis hits him with one of his wife's sculptures, knocking him unconscious. Belle climbs onto him in an attempt to arouse him while role-playing as a schoolgirl in his daughter's school uniform. At first, Evan says no, but the girls say they'll video call his wife unless he does what they want. They tie him to the bed, and Belle does something wrong to him while Genesis films, accusing him of pedophile. Evan manages to escape and pushes Belle down. Then, he rushes towards Genesis, but she stabs him with a fork. After that, both Genesis and Belle use an electrical cord to tie him to a chair. Louis comes to get the sculpture and sees Evan, but before he can help, he hears the girls breaking the vandalized sculpture. He rushes to stop them, but then gets an asthma attack and realizes they took his inhaler. While trying to get it back, he slips on a piece of the sculpture, hits his head, and dies. The girls laugh and turn Louis into a red sculpture, then bury Evan in the backyard. They use Evan's and Louis's phones to send texts, making it seem like Louis found out about an affair and was killed by Evan. The cruel girls wreck the house, torture Evan, cut his hair, and make him play hide-and-seek. When Genesis and Belle search for Evan, he runs away, but Genesis stops him with a gun. They admit to killing others and say he'll die soon. At sunrise, they use a hose to tie Evan, put him in a hole, leaving only his head out, and threaten to crush his skull with a big stone. It narrowly misses him, and then they laugh, saying it was all just a game. They clarify they never meant to kill Evan. Both are adults, and their actions were part of a cruel hobby of seducing, victimizing, and wrecking the lives of married men with families. Genesis reveals to Evan the video she captured on his phone of Belle assaulting him. Evan sees it as Genesis posts it on his Facebook. Then they leave with Monkey, leaving Evan behind. When Karen and the kids come home, they see the house in a mess. Jake, Evan's son, remarks, "Daddy had a party." In an alternate ending, Evan gets back at the girls by following them to someone else's home, using Monkey's GPS tracker. He then knocks on the door and the girls inquire, "Who is it?" Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, and I will see you soon in the next video.